guests that understand what is required of them for a tournament.
Round 5, we have multiple YCS and national champion Thomas Rose versus Jovan de Rosario.
Repping some interesting decks. Tom Rose is playing the Rikka deck, which I still don't know what it does.
And I'm beyond happy to see that he's playing.
Every time I get paired against Ricky, I don't learn my lesson. I lose. Yes, I went to a regional in Paisley, and do you know what my one loss was to?
Was it Rikka?
Rikka, yeah. I was like, no, but it's very, very good against Kashtira just because it has cards that just tribute your field, and if you just go on a right hard pass, it's only one thing to tribute, and that's
and it's just gone. It's
just gone. And everything is really, really scary. You have to get rid of the field spell. You have to. There's just plenty of
different
bits of Rikka interaction that stress you out.
Meanwhile, Jovan is playing Spright.
This is the deck. Spright won the tournament in YCS Lima, Peru. Not this particular variant, but the Spright engine itself did win. So we're not seeing Adventurous Spright this time. We're seeing Spright Runick. So a different take on the Runick deck, whereas previously we had Nucheria.
The Runick cards help a lot because, again, they just give you that level 3 to start with, and then also just help you go second, right?
The thing is, as well, what might make this deck just better is because Runick and Nucheria kind of need each other to make each other work, and Nucheria by itself doesn't really do an awful lot. Whereas Spright by itself can just facilitate advantage really well, and it doesn't need the Runick cards. So in this instance here, where Rugen just got infinite impermanence, which normally is quite a rough spot for them, it doesn't matter because he just has blue just to generate card advantage, because Hugen just so conveniently just is a level 2.
So he's not playing cards, the Nimble package, for example.
Okay.
Swap Frogs.
That is
so what do you think he's going to go for? Because it's quite open-ended right now.
Yeah, maybe he just values the fact that all his Runick cards are just disruption. So he doesn't really need to go for something like totally unrealistic.
Agreed.
And maybe he just wants to respect cards like Nibiru as well, so he can go for Gigantic Spright early like he is doing here. And he just wants to draw as many cards as possible so he can have as many defensive cards as possible. And cards like the Nimbles aren't very good draws.
Agreed.
And is he even playing Sprint? Okay, he is playing Sprint. That would be quite absurd if he wasn't playing Sprint.
I'm quite curious as well, because he is also playing a copy of Tillerman's Merle. Which I think...
What synergy do you think that would have?
I think in my head it's there to mill additional cards. To then just give more Runick cards in the graveyard for Phantom.
Okay. So maybe he can maybe he thinks of it as like if I'm in a situation where I really need more cards off my Runick fountain. And he does play an exceptional amount of Runicks.
I'm actually quite curious now, actually. I've just noticed he's playing a copy of Predaplant Dragostapelia in the extra deck as well.
What?
So he might be using...
Is he playing Super Poly?
No, so he might be using the Sprint to dump the Merle to then make Dragostapelia.
That's really cool.
He
won't do it here though, because he's used Gigantic Spright. But that is an interesting line that he could do by using Sprint to summon Dragostapelia. That is cool. I like that option. And Merle as a card isn't really that bad to hard draw, because you can just normal it and mill free if you really want to. You just put more Runick cards in your graveyard and then just special some freeze. And you're not playing all the normal summons in your deck and the Nimbles as well. So he probably just values his additional defensive card draws, so that's why he doesn't play any of the normal summons.
Actually. I can't lie, I really, really like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's well thought out. It's interesting. It just means that every draw that you get off Fountain isn't going to be rubbish. Whereas if you're playing a 5-card Nimble package, the cards that you can draw are potentially just anglers.
I'm sorry, I'm blown away by that actually. I really like this deck.
Yeah, it's cool.
He's also playing Akashic Magician.
Why not?
Which might be someone off IP maybe.
Your opponent could just put silly things in the wrong column.
Or it might be part of a combo. Who knows?
Who knows? He's done a fairly basic save combo here. Red and IP with some back row set. Oh, he's just giving.
So I'm guessing
Rikka ain't feeling IP red. Maybe he just values keeping it a secret. Game 2, which is completely respectable. He did throw an infinite impermanence at him, so he had one less engine card.
Yes,
and he might have just doubted Rikka's ability of dealing with the field.
He did see this Colosseum there, so it might also throw him off to think he's playing something more like the Punk Furion deck maybe, or something along those lines.
I see. Oh, so he activated Disc Coliseum and then just decided...
the Disc Coliseum got removed from play by the tip.
Ah, I see, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so maybe he's thinking, okay, maybe you'll think I'm on some sort of Furion variant. But what other deck that you would consider that's real would even play Disc Coliseum? Because like, if I saw Disc Coliseum, I'm not going to lie, I think I would immediately go to Rikka.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe, yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think I would immediately go to Rikka personally.
Oh, really?
Then again, as the plant enthusiast, maybe I'm a little bit off there.
Maybe a year ago I would have went to Punk Furion, but with Chaos Ruler being on the Forbidden list, I wouldn't now.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I probably would have definitely
Food
had
for
a
thought
good.
there.
I would have had a good crack at his field, I think, with the 5 engine cards, because I don't think it was like it didn't look particularly threatening.
No. Well, he had red,
and you would have learned what he
into a play.
You would have learned what he goes to with IP as well, and I think that's quite valuable information.
I think that is as well, yeah. And there's also a chance they might have played close to each other. He might already know he's on the plant deck.
Yeah.
So
maybe he is like just valuing the mystery more. But in my eyes, I don't think it's much of a mystery. I think it's somewhat obvious it's Rikka.
Yeah. So I think.
But I could be wrong.
I think Tom will put the Rose Whip in and the Ashes. Maybe the Cosmics as well. Remove some of these go second cards.
Then again, it just dawned on me that like it probably is correct that he scoops early game on, because like I had a similar conversation with someone from my locals that like when you play against a Runick deck and it doesn't look like that you are going to win, you have to concede early because you're not going to beat them in time because of Red Resonator and stuff. I think they have Runick just has a card that gains life anyway.
He's playing. Is he playing? Let's find out. Not that I can see. It's the level 3 Runick deck.
Well, they have an engine way of interacting with life points.
Yes.
So it's probably something that you have to respect, and you need as much time as possible to do out your plays.
So let's see how Tom's combo goes.
So this is the mistake I made, which I was told annoyingly afterwards. I had Ash Blossom and I naturally just ash the Link 1. You don't do that, right? This is where you ash.
You ash the sowing.
You ash the sowing, yes. Which is something I was told afterwards when I'd already lost.
A bit of a humble brag here. I don't know how many games I've played with Plant anymore. But I've got to the point where I think I've only been correctly hand-trapped with an infinite impermanence once.
And where would you say is the correct time to infinite impermanence?
I don't know if I want to share that information just yet.
I'd be telling.
But it did happen in a feature match. So there you go.
Oh, let's
Viewers at home, that little bit of information for you.
Is it not Jasmine?
No, it's not. Oh. It's Mudan. Because Mudan cuts off access to the field spell. And the field spell is the deck.
Right,
it's everything you want.
And if Rikka doesn't have access to its field spell, then it just doesn't work.
It works, but it's not. You just don't.
Not as impactful.
Yeah, exactly. Your interrupts. You're not removing costs from your opponent. You're not getting your extra sets. There's a lot of value you lose there. So we're seeing Tom here.
So has the point even happened? Like Mudan hasn't been summoned yet.
So the thing is, how we're now comboing. So I've spent a lot of time talking to Tom about this deck. How we're now comboing that. You shouldn't be getting impermed at that point, essentially. Ash on sowing is forever the correct point. I think if you do open the imperm, you do have to imperm Jasmine, at least with how this combo is.
Right.
I think Jovan does not have a hand trap.
Oh, so is he doing a line where you can put up an Omni Negate, so even if he has impermanence for the
Mudan, yeah.
I see.
So this is, I think we might for the first time on stream see the Wombo combo here today.
Ooh, is that Lone Fire Blossom?
That is Lone Fire Blossom.
Tribute in Lily, so that makes the regular slide. That's sick.
So now you summon Pestle from deck, and now because he discarded Princess as well for the 1/1, it's even better because now he has the Monster Negate already. And now he's going to summon a Regulus and then gives a second layer of protection, let's say.
That's sick.
So
would you say, what makes this deck different from any of the other combo decks though?
So the Rikka cards are also generally just really good cards going second. Like the Field Spell lets you start tributing your opponent's cards, and then they just naturally keep on going and going. I think a lot of people, when you're playing against this deck, they're like, okay, I need to hold it for this certain spot. The mistake is that I think you just make sure you remove the bodies early game, because if you hold the bodies until too late in the combo, or hold removing bodies until too late in the combo, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't impact them.
Yeah.
Because they've already got all of these.
It does feel like it does get to a point where they've just got too much. And
yes.
It looks like if Joven had like any form of interaction at all, it's just not going to matter. Like ignoring the regulars, of course.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of like cards.
Yeah,
there.
I'm curious to see how Tom performs the rest of this play.
Well, he has the Rugen in his hand, right?
Yeah. So I'm just curious to see if he goes for the field spell to set sheet or the field spell to set glamour here.
What would you normally go for?
I personally always prefer setting sheet, just because even if you do get stopped, sheep and the field spell are still 2 pieces of interruption, essentially, because you're tributing a monster to then take control of another monster. So it doesn't matter if they have like Nibiru, let's say, or other types of ways of clearing your field. You still have this ability to just keep on going. So I think here he's going to do a little bit of a different play, and with basically I wasn't confirmed to be playing a plant yet again until I got a cheeky video from Tom on how this combo is, and that's what convinced me this is the deck I want to play for YCS London, I think.
Or you feel like you're pretty set in what you want to play for the 250th?
Unless there's a really cool deck that pops out of the woodworks, then I think I'm sold on this. So Tom, to note, also
just seems like it's doing well so far.
I think
everything's going according to plan.
Outside of Lava Golem Sphere modes, this board it just can't be broken. Oh, and I guess Dark Runa no more. But that's not really seeing too much play.
So when your field does get hit by Dark Rule no more, what's your backup plan?
You have the trap, right?
But it's
going
for the trap. Oh, he's going for double.
Yeah.
This girly. So what's that about?
So you're sending an attribute 1 for Lone Fire to summon the Rose Whip from deck.
I know when that card's attributed because I've buried that before. It does something annoying.
It summons a XYZ from the extra deck. So he's going to summon.
Oh, that's the Omni Negate as well, right?
Then he's going to activate the field spell. That's going to get a spell underneath it, and now he's going to set Rikka sheet. So this board, on the surface, what do you think of it?
It looks pretty scary.
Because, yeah, the opponent can now not activate a spell or trap unless it's Dark Ruler, otherwise it gets negated with Regulus, then they have no more for the turn.
So what does Rose Whip do again?
Rose Whip is your opponent can only activate 1 spell or trap card per turn.
I see, so that's why. So Dark Ruler is your only copia, and he is playing it. Oh wait, no, that's the Rikka deck. He is not playing it.
He is playing Vanity's Fiend. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't think he has a way to beat this unless he does have multiple Lava Golems.
I think that's like, okay, so looking at Runick Spright, Rikka has one means of like dealing with the field, and you're just not sure with one spell what you're going to really do.
Exactly.
Your card needs to be to immediately remove the Rose Whip, but the Regulus will just like negate that. So is the wording on Rose Whip that they can only activate?
Yes.
What if they negate the activation?
If you negate the activation, then you can activate another one.
Right, I see.
But Regulus negates the effect.
Oh.
So yeah, this is why.
So Regulus doesn't negate the activation. Oh,
exactly.
I see. So this is a soft lock.
I know we didn't get that far in our match at Nationals, but this is the board I was trying to aim for.
I see.
So it was Regulus, Bengalance, Rose Whip, and then the Sanavalon Link 4, which searches the trap, which is essentially skill drain, let's say.
Right. So other than Dark Ruler no more, that's effectively
or like
nothing.
Sphere mode and Lava Golem.
But strictly speaking, whatever's in
he has got
in
Lava
this guy's
Golem,
deck, he does have Lava
Golem.
So he does have
a little bit of a chance.
Okay, so Lava Golem is he has Dark Hole, but again, like
crouching here to try and see his hand.
Peek, is there a Lava Golem in there? Has Marek blessed his hand?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Oh no, he's just accepted. Yeah, both games where these players' first turn fields have just been like
so
too much. Yeah, just not even worth the attempt.
Exactly.
Especially Tom's field in particular, where it's just like, why?
You cannot play.
Yeah, like your only means of playing there was definitely just the Lava Golem. And I couldn't see anything else in his deck that would even remotely help him. And his monsters aren't the sort of Spright doesn't really have an engine that deals with a game state. No, it's just they're more just to generate card advantage. and what helps Spright deal with like fields is
right? They can pick away the odd bit, little bit.
Yeah, they can do something. Like they have smashes, and but Runick is the main points of removal, and Runick was eventually shot off there with that soft block.
We're looking at the side decks. So for Jovan, he's got 3 Vanseas Fiend.
That'd be quite difficult.
A little bit difficult. Tom is playing Rikka in the main deck.
I mean,
and Infinite Impermanences to deal with that.
He plays Rikka, Impermanence, Dark
Color,
normal.
Jovan's also playing Eradicator, which is pretty powerful. Again, removing spell cards.
And Eradicator, you would think is pretty ridiculous
powerful,
against pretty powerful against Rikka, yeah.
Although you do not, I think if you are playing Eradicator, I don't think you activate it straight away.
Right.
I think you hold it. Once they've resolved,
you would hold it when they add the Sunbind.
Yeah, exactly. Just because the seed alone, if they've already resolved Eradicator, you're just gonna win the game on the spot, aren't you?
Yeah, you would just add the Sunbind and just go from there, which is the most powerful point in the combo.
Which is, again, I think that's how I reached top cut at YCS Utrecht. Someone resolved an Eradicator, and I just normal summoned my seeds, and it wasn't great. Yeah.
But I think that's what's the advantage for decks like this, because it's not something that people directly prepare for.
Exactly.
Even if it is something that's like in the back of their mind, their side patterns cannot be like fit for it, and like they're likely to make like the odd misplay just because that they haven't tested against it.
I'd always also argue that because it's not at the forefront of the meta, you only see the very fringe players playing it every now and then.
Yeah.
You don't really get the full experience where you see those that have just picked up the deck compared to those that really know every little bit of detail. And I think that's where people get caught off guard when you make these stranger plays with this deck because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. Like sometimes a dark horse deck can just be enough to. We've seen it. We've seen decks, obscure decks, win YCSs before, and it's not completely unheard of.
Agreed. And I think there's still a lot of room for innovation in this game. And I think there are some decks that I have in the back of my mind waiting for the perfect event.
Just waiting to be solved.
Yeah. But we're going to see Jovan. I assume he's going first.
Yeah, I mean, with a deck like Spright and Runick, those engines just crave going first.
Exactly.
And you just want to generate all that card advantage just to create that first turn field again.
Yes, exactly.
Which won him game 1.
So we can see a Regeki, a Cosmic, and an evenly matched in Tom's hand, I believe.
Right.
So
that's
pretty powerful.
Good.
I'd say. Yeah.
Evenly is pretty good against the Runick and Spright matchup. I'm not sure if they can put any sort of Omni Negate up because he's not playing Totally Awesome. It is difficult to play Totally Awesome in Spright now about Spright Elf.
He was playing copy. Well, he's playing red, so it's at least a little bit.
He can summon Carrot if he is scared of evenly matched.
That's the card I was thinking.
But generally, people just auto go to red because they're scared of Nibiru.
If you're playing against Plant, would you think they're playing Nibiru?
I'm not sure. I think any deck could just play Nibiru.
Yeah.
So he does seem more scared of Infinite Impermanence here, so he's went straight for Carrot.
Yeah, I think I'm very much the type that if I see my opponent playing Plant, I don't think I'm not expecting Nibiru personally because if Nibiru's if you've got your Nibiru token on field, you can't summon back your Petal in the end phase.
Ah, I see.
So I think it's a little bit of a catch-22 about.
Is Tom playing Nibiru?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Or if he is, brave man.
Don't see it.
But it feels like a lot of go second strong cards.
Yeah, just like spells like Talon's Frost, Dark Rule no more.
Again, we're seeing
evenly.
These Eradicators this tournament that they might just be putting in a lot of work because people are building their decks to have all of these powerful spell cards.
Yeah, because you need them because they're the best disruptors and have the best coverage. Whereas like the monster removal cards can be countered by different ways that people play, like the Gamma Seals and the Lava Golems. So the spells make more sense. But then those can get countered by, like you say, Eradicator.
Yep. But I do like Eradicator as well, just because it doesn't just give you that coverage for the spells. Or power spells that might be breaking your boards or your field even. But they're just very strong against the trap decks, right?
Yeah.
Opponent has 5 traps in hand. Not anymore. They're gone.
Yeah. Like it's almost terrifying playing a deck like Labyrinth because if your opponent can naturally side Eradicate a Pandemic, and they call trap, there's just
you can't get back.
How do you win? Like you can't draw a trap for 3 turns.
You can't do what your deck's meant
Like,
to
it's
do.
just at that point, it's just like, yeah, there's instances where you can maybe play, but you're so far behind and you just can't do anything. And it's just a matter of just like delaying the inevitable, to be honest.
So there's 20 minutes left on the round.
So I'd be very surprised if this goes to time now. Because like Tom's scooping game on quite early, so it doesn't get to that. Joven, I'm surprised he did, but because his deck's quite strong in time. Oh, so he has just Tribute Summon Vanity's Fiend.
That's pretty strong.
So it makes a lot of sense now why he went for the carrot.
Yeah.
Because it means he can just tribute you can use carrot effect to tribute Gigantic Spright to negate the infinite impermanence. So this also just indirectly respects the evenly match too. But even if he lets the evenly match resolve, it doesn't deal with the Vanity's Fiend.
Yeah.
So how would Rikka deal with this?
So it's a bit unique because I think this would be very strong into the rest of the meta, let's say. But there is also the chance that the Rikka, if he does resolve evenly match, it does resolve. He can just go field spell tribute. And then it's just like
I see.
That very
so the engine can't deal with that.
Yeah, there's just that chance it does just deal with it.
But the issue is he has to deal with that carrot.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's one way of getting rid of the carrot. So I think he's going imperm to negate the carrot. So I think you just let that happen. Right?
Yeah.
Like, why would you tribute your Gigantic Spright for no reason?
Then that was the declaration of end of main phase, I believe.
He also has a Cosmic Cyclone as well.
So
So if he leaves a set back row, which I don't think he would definitely just leave the Vanity's Fiend. Does he play something like Solemn Judgment? I don't think he
No, there's Eradicator, so Vanity's is 2400, right?
Evenly matched he is going to suck, especially if he has a way of
dealing with it.
Yeah.
The Vanity's Fiend.
And by suck, I mean like it's going to be very good.
Oh, he is. Oh.
He is leaving that, which is, I think that's the standard reaction. You would definitely just leave the Vanity's Fiend there. In terms of a grind, though, even if Tom can't immediately, I see, nice. So he just had Exodia then.
And then I think he's going to normal summon the Seed.
I see. Okay. Is he going to make him play it out? I think at this point, even if it does look like rough, you do just let them play out. That was an Exodia hand. Like, what more could you ask for there?
There's nothing
really?
you could ask for there.
Imperm, evenly, Regeki, Seed. I don't think he could have made a better hand if he picked it.
He had the Cosmic.
The Cosmic too, in case he decided to leave a floodgate. Like that was literally like.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
That was Magician's touch. That.
So he's going to summon back there. He's got a combo. I'm curious to see how he combos here. I'm curious as well if he left the Fear on.
He's only got one card in hand now, so he doesn't even have to go for like full wombo combo. He just has to have two means of interruptions, which and just not commit too many cards to the field.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't. It's not like there's an evenly matched in his deck or anything. In
True.
Deck, there shouldn't be.
Even if your opponent starts, if you can just respect it, you might as well.
I guess you do just respect Nibiru here as well, if you can.
That's not unreasonable. Yeah, I think if there is a way you can respect Nibiru, you should.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it is something that you can just keep in your deck going first.
I think you add the Princess here just to respect it a little bit.
He doesn't know the card in his hand, right? I'm assuming he doesn't.
No, he shouldn't do. I think it's a Spright blue, but I don't think he should know what it is.
If it is a Spright blue, like I'm not sure, because he doesn't have any powerful normal summons in this deck, which is the disadvantage to it, right? Like, there's no one-card top deck rather than starter, which will get him out of this predicament. And even if he activates starter and he stops it, definitely just doesn't resolve it, and then it's just gone. He also has a Cosmic if, like, I don't know, this for Fountain. If he tops Fountain to draw more cards.
So he's going to go for that.
I think Joven's win condition is Tom has to spontaneously combust. Honestly, like
something has to go very, very wrong. Imminently.
Yeah.
And okay. He's doing this. Okay.
Is this a safe ally?
Weird to say. I think it's a bit safe, but I think it's also a little bit. He's at the point where he's still playing into that Nibiru. Although I guess at this point you would also just your opponent just doesn't have Nibiru really.
You could just know it's a blue and we've just missed it.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. So I think he's just going to go for that to add back, then make another one, then tribute it to summon the Mudan. and then use it to summon not Bangalotsa. What's it called? Hyperitron.
The big bird.
The big bird, and then he's going to use the field spell to set Hyperitron
and that's
a
a negate, right?
Yeah. So then you have a monster negate, a spell negate. Oh, he's already used that. So yeah, he's just got monster negate now actually. Malaya summoning back for the vanilla. Born every 1,000 years. Oh, sorry, 3,000 years. Oh,
so now he has a bounce and a negate.
Yes, he's got. He's got a bounce and negate, a monster negate in the graveyard by tributing a monster. So he's got quite a lot left.
Alrighty. So, what can you get in the clapback?
I think he drew a spell for turn, which is not terrible.
Any powerful spells in there? There's Dark Hole.
There's Dark Hole.
If you get Dark Hole, it would be very funny.
Dark Hole could resolve here as well.
Yeah, but even if it is a Dark Hole, like, what's he going to do? Normal. Is that
Merly?
Merly?
It was Merly.
Okay.
It was Merly, not blue. I think you do it. I think you have to do it.
I don't see any variants in Merly though.
No, I think it'd just be funny to
it would be. It would be memes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just going to do it. Just normal Merly effect. You wanted to get it. Okay, so he's going to strain the Hugin.
I might be just trying to destroy a monster. And then, well, the important thing is, in the end phase, Petal summons. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
If everything else goes, it's okay. You still got Petal. It's probably just going to be enough. There he goes. He's going to summon, maybe going for Jerry.
He's letting that happen. That's fine. Well, he just got the last card in his hand, right? And then he just negates that. It's like, okay.
Oh, that's pretty funny, actually. So it's cost for a cost, right?
Cost, yeah. Merly's
damn, that'd be...
If it was for effect, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be beautiful to watch.
Unfortunately, it is for cost, so Merly does not trigger.
Yeah. Look at his field. Surely he sees the writing on the walls here.
Yeah, so now it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
I think now he just wants to watch what Rikka does.
My favourite bit, Petal F. Here we are. It's the end game. Yeah.
Again, he's waiting for that spontaneously combust win condition.
I respect it. He's gonna get there. Atachi Rageki, I love that. That's on 26. The Bengalots was 25. The Strenner is 2,000. So that's already 71. So he just needs to summon Mudan and attack for game. No, Tom, just do the thing.
Just attack.
Just attack. Just do the thing.
End this boy's misery.
Oh, he's flexing on him. Okay.
Rude. Yeah, right.
He's like, oh, I need my effects. I need everything.
He wants to summon all his girls.
And what I learned after Euros.
There we go.
Anyway.
And Tom Rose takes round 5 with a 2-1 defeat against the Runick Spright strategy. Looked a bit weird, but I guess game 3 when you've got a hand like that, like I guess it could just be your day, right?
I don't think that he was losing in that situation.
No.
Honestly. Yeah.
No, like every card he played at game 3 was just like, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh.
And then he just slaps down.